the purpose of this is to raise your financial frequency. That's the intent. That's the purpose of this. So it's very, very focused in that area. So all of this is all about money. It's all about your frequency. It's all about allowing money to come to you and for you to have a frequency that elevates so that you can allow more money to come into your life. In other words, allow your rate to go up. Allow people who can afford you to come in and to essentially match that frequency. So the purpose here is to do just that. And what we need to do is we need to clear the energy, but we're going to clear the energy all the way from your current situation right up to the cosmos. So that's what we're going to do. So your energy is going to be completely clear by the time we are finished, so that you can allow things to come into you really easily. So what I'm going to get you to do is close your eyes and just allow yourself to relax. So as you close your eyes, what I'd like you to do is just exhale some of that breath and some of that energy. And then inhale some awareness. Exhaling some of your conscious energy and inhaling some awareness of your current financial situation. So I'd like you to allow yourself just kind of dream and drift and drop and fall. Just dreaming, drifting, dropping, falling. Dreaming, drifting, dropping, falling. But going all the way into your current financial situation. Dreaming, drifting, dropping, falling. And don't be afraid of it. Don't be scared of it. Be courageous. Be okay to feel it. Because it is important to identify the current situation. Just let yourself dreaming, drifting, dropping, falling, just going all the way into your current situation and feeling the energy. And perhaps the energy claims that you are not good enough to earn what you propose to earn. Perhaps you may feel unworthy, that you are not worthy of earning what it is you wish to earn. And I just want you to get a sense of that. Now, don't blame anybody. Don't blame the situation. And just feel it. And forgive it. Because all it is, it's just like your nervous system. It's just telling you that there's something that needs to shift. There's something that needs to change. It's just like when your nervous system begins to feel that there's a pain perhaps in your back, or in your hip, or on your arm, or on your shoulders. It's just a signal that says that part of you needs attention. And if you think about it, there's no other way that the universe can get a message to you like this. So the universe is sharing with you that there is perhaps a block that needs to shift. And we all need this from time to time. We all need to know that there are some things that we need to shift in order to evolve. So it's very, very important to now focus on the current situation. Don't blame, and just now forgive it. Because its intention is good. Its intention is always good. So just allow yourself to completely forgive it. Forgive it for putting you in this financial position. But it got your attention. So what it now draws attention to is there was an original situation. It's not this current situation, but it is an original situation. And I want your mind now to go to this original situation. And it may have been a time in your life where you had difficulties with money. It might have been a time that you had a difficult circumstance due to perhaps a lack of money. And I want your unconscious now to gently be drawn to that situation. Don't be scared of it. Do not fear it. Allow yourself to go there. Be courageous. That's right. And just allow yourself to go to that original situation. Just begin to notice what you see, what you hear, what you feel, or what you say to yourself. Building a level of understanding of this situation, not to blame it, just simply to learn from it. Because this situation happens a number of times through your life, but it'll keep happening until you completely heal it and clear it. That's right. So now what I'd like you to do is I'd like you to paint this situation with some bright golden light. So just paint the entire situation with some bright golden light. You don't have to do anything more than that. But just begin to understand that this situation goes way beyond you. Way beyond you. It's not really yours. You just think that you own it. You didn't get it from you. And in a moment, not now, you'll go to a previous source of where it originated from. So I want you just to clean and cleanse and clear it. Just allow that golden light to just paint the whole situation and begin to notice how much better you're beginning to feel about the situation. It's almost like you're taking off a veil of illusion. Because you know there are people that earn 10 times what you earn, 1,000 times what you earn. So you too can earn a lot more when you allow the energy to bring to you a lot more. And it's not about forcing, it's not about pushing, it's not about driving, it's about allowing. But you've got to clear this energy. So painting it with a golden light, just painting that original situation in a golden light, begin to notice how much easier it begins to feel. So continue painting that original situation. Don't blame, just forgive it. Again, it's just like your nervous system. It's a signal that says that something needs to be done, that's all. So now doing what needed to be done a long, long time ago. Do it now. Do it now. Clearing the entire energy with the golden light. Not blaming it, completely forgiving it. And bless it. Perhaps send love to it, send thanks, send gratitude that at least it woke you up to understanding that there was an original situation, a memory, an idea, an event that you believed was going to happen again and again in your life, just because it was evidence. You saw it, you smelt it, you tasted it, you touched it, you felt it, you knew it, you saw it. Remember, your senses sometimes do not make any sense at all. Sometimes they don't even make dollars. So the thing is, you're going to clear it completely from that original situation. You're doing really well. Clear it all. Begin to notice how it's all clearing up now. That's it. Good job. So now what I'd like you to do is I'd like you to rise up, and I want you to go to where this came from. And it may have come from your parents or others. So I want you to come to understand their situation. I want you to begin to notice how they felt about money. Perhaps what they spoke about when they talked about rich people or people with advantage. Or perhaps how they judged others. So allow yourself to fully and completely understand them. Don't blame them. Just forgive. And you may be able to see your parents or others with the same situation, a financial issue. And now bring in the golden light. And let that glistening golden light now clear that entire scenario. Clearing out all the belief systems, clearing out all the prejudice, clearing out all the judgments, all the negative energy, all the arguments perhaps, or whatever happened around money through your parents, your parent, or others. So just begin to get a sense of them and the situation and all the beliefs and identities and ideas and concepts that they held about money. That's it. You're doing really, really well. You're doing a good job here. So you're clearing it for them too. Just allow them to completely be cleared, to be cleansed. Almost like a vacuum cleaner. It's just sucking up the energy and ascending it into the beyond. These are just ideas. These are just concepts. These are just imaginings that turn into beliefs and memories and meta-programs and language patterns and values and decisions. And all of these things circulate through your neurology, but now you're clearing it at the parent level or others. Very good. Now this came beyond. I want you now to go to your extended family. I want you to begin to perhaps see other family members, maybe even grandparents, maybe even great-great-grandparents. I want you to begin to move this now, following the line and going to your extended family.
Good job.
And begin to notice their beliefs and identities and ideas around money. Money is harmless. Money has no ill intent. Money is not there to separate us. It is there to create the opportunity for you to build and create everything that you came here to do. So money actually is a vehicle for you. It allows you to begin to create whatever it is that you truly, truly need. So see that extended family and allow that golden, sparkling, clearing light to now go over the entire extended family. I want you to just imagine it is now moving through your entire lineage. Imagine you are doing the work for your entire genealogical line. You are clearing this energy all throughout the future and the past and the present, just bathing it in this golden, rich light. You're noticing that the energies are beginning to shift, the energies are beginning to change, and you're doing a really, really good job here. So just allowing all of the energy to be cleansed and cleared. Don't blame, just forgive. Put all your love and care and heart right through your entire lineage. All their limitations about money, all their lack, and all their impoverished ideas about how the world works. Just let it all just go. Clear it, cleanse it. Good job. Now it's time to start moving into your community. Understand where many of these ideas came from. Many of these ideas came from the communities in which your family lived. You know, maybe there were poor neighbors. Maybe there were depressions, recessions, hardships, war. Times when there were lack. Times when abundance was not even a concept within their reality. All they knew was poverty. But I want you now to energetically begin to connect to the entire community in which your family built these ideas of lack, these ideas of judgment, anger, fear, sadness, frustration, pain, guilt, greed. Let all of these ideas within your community begin to go. Let all of these energies of lack bathe them all now in a golden light. So you are now bathing the entire community in which your family's lineage all had their part. That's right. Be rich. Bathe all the communities. And it's almost in this particular moment that you begin to get a sense that you're almost able to connect mentally to tell them that you can have whatever you really truly expect. But you have to change your expectation, because you don't often get what you need or want, but you always get what you expect. So you are now bathing the entire community in this golden, rich light. You're beginning to notice that their focus and consciousness is growing. It's almost as if their entire consciousness is growing. Perhaps you see people now looking up at the heavens with gratitude and grace, with love and respect. And a sense of synchronicity and harmony is moving all through your community now. All the community is starting to get new ideas of prosperity and abundance. It's not being rich to be better than one another. It is being a rich and harmonious community. So a rich and harmonious community is a community of givers, people who serve and help one another. And this is why we are given such a dichotomy of talent and skill. Not everyone has the same skill, and that's because it is the magnetism that brings communities together. There are the creative ones that are rich in art and ideas. There are the structural ones that can actually be the engineers of the world and build things. Then there are the fabricators, the ones that put over the top of the structures a fabrication that allows the beauty to be architecturally magnificent. And so as we all come together, we bring in the mothers, the fathers, the children of joy, and all the communities become richer as a whole as they are now being bathed in this golden light. So now what I want you to do is forgive them all. Send your love, send your care, send your deepest vibration from a beautiful, giving heart into that community. Good job. You're doing really well. And now ascend all of this into the culture. I want you to get a sense of now the very culture, the culture that exists in those communities. All the ideas and collective beliefs that were held in that culture. The musts, the shoulds, the have-tos, all the laws and systems. Begin to understand that some of those were built with fear. Some of those were built so that some people prosper over the top of others. And now bathe all of the culture in a golden light. So that concepts like greed and control and manipulation can begin to vanish. So that all of that energy, that negative energy within a culture, can begin to be cleansed and clear. So this is the culture that needs to be a rich culture so that the community can prosper, that the family can thrive, that you and others can do your best work. So bathe the entire culture, their limitations, their negative beliefs, their fear, their control. Even ideas like winning means that there are losers. Let all of those ideas go, all of that culture go, so that there are no more ideas of one being better than another or one winning and one losing. That what is now happening is we are all equal. There is no hierarchy. There is no one human being that is better than another because of their stature, their job, their income, their assets, or what they do, or how tall they are, or how strong or fit or resilient they are. Regardless, all judgment, bathe it in a rich, sparkling, golden energy. So that all of the culture is now clean. Clean all the culture. And as a result, the communities thrive and the families live together in harmony. And you can be harmonious in your situation. Don't blame. Forgive. Give all your heart and love and care to the culture. Such a beautiful energy now. You have done very, very well. Because it's now time to ascend beyond the culture, into the country, into civilization, humankind. Now I want you to allow that golden light to begin to encapsulate the entire globe, that all civilizations throughout the entire world are all cleansed and cleared. And allowing all those civilizations, that entire globe, to be at one. Now I know that some countries have declared war on other countries, that there is anger, greed, there is racism, hate. I want you to clear all of that energy, clearing all of that energy. Allow the golden, rich, golden light to now encompass the entire globe. And you may get a sense that one culture, one population, no culture, no one group is any better than any others. Because some have technology and others do not, it does not mean that one is better than the other. In fact, there are benefits in both. And just because one skin color is different to another, there are benefits of both. And just because some have a particular language and a particular history, that there is good in both and all. So begin to allow the entire globe to look as though it is having a sunset all at once. The entire earth is now enriched with this rich golden light. And begin to see or get a sense of all cultures coming together, all races, all creed, all humanity coming together. And you begin to get a sense of dark skin holding light skin, and different coloured skins all coming together, and all connecting and all teaching one another, sharing cultures, sharing wisdoms, sharing insights. And so therefore all the world is coming together. The countries are coming together. Civilization is coming together. And you start to get a sense of what the world looks like when women have just as much right as men, and men have just as much right as women. And children have a right as well as adults. And all cultures, regardless of race or creed, are able to come together in this moment. Don't blame. Just completely forgive. In this one moment, that all wars, all anger, all limitations, all poverty consciousness is completely released, allowing the entire world to be bathed in this very rich golden light. and now ascending the country and the civilization to moving to a time in history, and allowing yourself now to move into times of history, times of war, times of famine. And much of this has all connected right throughout time and history, and all the lineage has taught us impoverished ways of thinking. And when scarcity occurs, then people tend to become greedy, become fearful. And we notice that times in history have trained us to be a certain way. And now letting go of all of that entrainment, untraining your brain. Untraining your brain. To release all the conditioning from history. And as you release all the conditioning of history, all of the conditioning of history, untraining your brain. You come to understand that it is now being bathed. It's like the entire timeline of history, of humanity, is now being cleansed and cleared. And just allow the golden light to now encompass every single moment in future and past, so that it is cleared, it is cleansed. That's right. You are doing such a wonderful job for humanity. And now, not blaming, completely forgiving, sending your love into time, in the past, all the way back to the very beginning, all the way to the end. And becoming to know that you are now allowing the Alpha and the Omega to be completely cleansed and cleared all time, in all history, in all directions, north, south, east and west, up and down, and it's all just cleared in golden light. And now begin to have a look around the earth, the biosphere of life. Beginning to get a sense of the biosphere of life, the very energy that holds the earth. Begin to focus in the biosphere. The biosphere is often a color of the distance between light and dark. As we move into space, that element of light and dark starts to move from very bright white light to a bluish light. And that signifies often the biosphere of life around the planet. Begin to clear the entire biosphere, removing all of the limitations, the lack, and all the various concepts that we have come to understand in the living world, releasing them all and painting it all with a rich golden light. Don't blame, completely forgive, and now allow yourself to ascend to the ultimate, the galaxy, the cosmos, knowing full well that there are other planets, other galaxies that go all the way into the infinite. So now for the final piece, to allow complete peace, allow the entire cosmos to be breathed as a deity may begin to breathe in the entire cosmos and breathe out the entire cosmos. And as you breathe in the entire cosmos and out the entire cosmos, you begin to notice that the skies, the space, the stars all become rich in the sparkling golden light. So as you clear the golden sparkling light, now you are clearing the entire galaxy. Now here, my friend, is where you have now cleared all the way from your current situation right into the cosmos. Any limitations about money, any limitations about supply, understand that you are now able to have a clear channel, a very clear channel that connects you from your current situation in this current moment of time right through into the cosmos, into the galaxies. Untraining your brain. And as you begin to get a sense that there, when you tap into the cosmos, you can allow all the prosperous energies to come, and understand that you are a very important piece in the cosmos. You have a mission, you have a vision, you have a purpose. And your purpose, therefore, must be focused upon, and your energy must be clear in order for you to be your divine self, connected to divine source. So now, as you allow yourself to go beyond the cosmos into the divine, and as you begin to now connect into the divine, there is nothing to clear here. You are now a clear channel, a clear, beautiful, divine channel. You are now connected very clearly, very easily. You have a good frequency. You have a good signal into the divine. Now here is the understanding that you can only connect to the divine without judgment, without limitation, without fear. Because you are given at birth the gift of free will. You can be fearful, you can be limited, but of course this is your free will, this is your choice. But when you release your free will, release your choice of fear, release your choice of limitation, you can now connect perfectly to the divine. And so you may feel that energy now as you are now connecting to the divine. And you can now feel that energy beautifully in harmony. It's a very beautiful frequency. In this frequency, you may begin to feel that you are capable of achieving any wondrous thing. You can do anything when you are connected to this frequency. Though you need to remind yourself every now and then to be at this level of frequency. And of course, you can listen to this again and again. Whenever you get out of tune or out of frequency, just simply listen to it again. Reconnect yourself to the divine. So I now want you to feel all the love that you receive from the divine. Begin to notice all of the love. And it is like all the love that you've ever wanted from your mother, from your father, from your significant other. It's like a love that you receive without penalty, without having to prove anything. It is a pure and free love. And in this moment, you start to understand that you are a divine creature. You are a divine being. You are always loved. You are always supported. Though you now know that when you get into fear or anxiety is you cut off that connection. But you have now cleared all the way up into the divine. And now that you know this, you can now come here again. Good job. You've done really, really well. So now it's time to return. So accept the love, just like you will accept the frequency of money coming into your life. Accept the love of what you do that allows you to earn what you earn. And start to understand now that your only purpose in life is to learn to love yourself, to love what you do, to even bless and love the food that you eat that enters into your body, to love your very soul, and to allow yourself with thanks every time you serve. Understand that you are given a frequency. That frequency you just simply call money. And you can allow money to come easily into your life now. There are trillions of dollars every day that traverse the entire planet. And just allow the right people to come to you. Allow the right situations to come to you. And as you do that, it is now time to come all the way back. So sending your thanks to the divine, sending your love to the divine, and allow yourself to begin to move and descend back into the cosmos. Noticing that the energy there is all clear now. You love it, you've forgiven it, you have blessed it, you have gratitude. And moving all the way now into the biosphere of life, you can begin to see the glow of the earth, a beautiful, healthy glow now, because you have loved it, you have blessed it, you have given it all of your peace. And you begin to notice how beautiful it is now. And as you now come into the earth, you begin to see the time in history, the past, the present, and the future. And you begin to notice how clean it is, that all that time in history is clean and beautiful. And as you begin to look into the future, you know that's your potential. You know that's up to you to be creative and choose whatever you want in the future, whatever you choose to create. But understand that it is important to give with love, give with kindness, and give with heart your future. in all your interactions with all the people. And you begin to notice how clean history has now become. Give it gratitude, give it love, and now give it time. And allow yourself to come into country and civilization. Begin to notice there is still perhaps some work to do to clear it, and we are all, as healers, as speakers, as authors, as coaches, as trainers, we are all here to help bring civilization into one. And you begin to notice that it's much clearer now. Your intent is clearer. You thank it, you have gratitude. You give it love, you give it energy. And you come into the culture now, understanding full well that the culture has changed. The culture is better now. You know, that many of the expectations, the shoulds, the have-tos, the musts have all begun to shift. And you feel so much better within the culture. And you're respectful, understanding that people can keep their cultures, but reduce their limitations. And you begin to now bless it and love the culture as you move into community now. And you begin to notice that the communities are in harmony and coming together. And you will serve within certain communities. You will help certain communities. And you can feel the love that you wish to give into those communities. As you now begin to bless and love and thank with gratitude those communities. As you now come into your extended family, you begin to notice the smiles on their faces, the elation of members who have passed, members who are still alive, and members who are yet to be born into your family. You begin to notice all their smiling faces. There's a beautiful, beautiful energy, because the rich golden light in which you painted the entire family lineage right up to the cosmos is now all clear. You begin to notice as you thank and bless and have gratitude for your extended families in all directions, past and future, that you now begin to notice your parents. You notice your parents or others are much more clearer in their energy now, much, much clearer. And you can see their sparkling golden light, still remnants sparkling over them. You give thanks and you have gratitude and you send love to them, thanking them for making you aware of your connection to lack that you once had. And you now are aware as you come to the original situation that had that idea of lack, and notice how clean it is now, how beautiful and clean it is. Begin to notice that you can now create, and you can now receive, and you can now allow. And you come as you bless your original situation, you give it gratitude and thanks, and you send it love, that it brings you back to your current situation. You begin to notice how your current situation has changed, perhaps in a small way, or maybe quite significantly. That you don't see your current situation as you once saw it. And now that you see it anew, you can create a new way of being and thinking. And now that you have joined the dots, and you have come to realize that when you think anew, you create anew. In this moment, you come to realize that some of your thinking was the very reason for your lack or your once limitations. And you come to realize that your thinking has changed so much. And you're feeling quite differently. It's almost like you're feeling a sense of sparkle. Perhaps you can feel tingles in your body. Maybe you even feel that feeling that people feel when they are in love. You know, that joy. And this is the way in which you allow your financial world to shift. It will only shift when you shift, and you have shifted now. So just trust your unconscious is all clear and cleansed. Allow your situation now to financially shift. You may find that things come to you almost magically, synchronistically, perhaps in large lumps of income. Maybe a windfall, or you discover something that is an idea that you decide to now do. And it completely changes your financial world in a positive way. Or maybe your expectations have now changed. But either way is fine. So just allow yourself to accept a new level now of abundance. Allow yourself to perhaps even give more of yourself, to connect to broader communities. And notice that when you talk with people, that you talk of possibility, opportunity, that you talk from a position of abundance. It's almost like anything is possible in this way of thinking. So it's now time. It's now time to do. But to do in a different way. To do with courage, to be courageous, and allow this courage to become your prevailing force. A force for good, a force for great, a force for all. That's right. So I'm going to count from 5 to 1, and you'll come back to the room wonderfully refreshed and allowing abundance to be your new frequency. You've done really well, by the way. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So 5, preserve your frequency. Your frequency is key. Do all you can to maintain your high frequency so that you are clear from your current situation, from this current time in history, to be cleared all the way through your original situation to your parents, extended family, community, your culture, your country and civilization, time in history, through the biosphere and life, into the cosmos, connecting to the divine. And 4, finding your purpose, your very reason that you get out of bed and do what you do. And becoming clear and committed. You're no longer just interested, because you know interesting is dabbling. You are now fully committed. You now commit to do your best intent, your good intent. And 3, you are free to be abundant. And feel the abundant energy. And 2, You allow yourself to come back to the room very easily as you are one with yourself. Opening your eyes very gently and carrying and maintaining the abundant frequency within. Bless you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Untraining your brain.